So we're live.
We're live.
And that's an interesting opening. But yes, well, we're live today on Reg. um, we're in the middle of a Halloween series, and for this one, I thought Halloween songs because I mean, when you have a Halloween party, you need some good Halloween songs. Now, this is an interesting one. There's going to be maybe a lot of different ones, maybe have quite a few similarities. I mean, like for me, when it comes to Halloween songs, it doesn't. For me, if it's got sort of like zombie or that in the title, it totally counts because, I mean, it's one of those ones. But I've got a good panel. I've got the commissioner of Jukebox Trivia because I couldn't do it without him. Brooklyn Vale. Brooklyn, how's it going?
We are dandy. We just finished reacting to one of the greatest Throwdown matches ever. But we get to talk about Halloween songs, second to only to Christmas, as some of the greatest genre or holiday songs ever. So I'm excited. I got a nice list here of nominations.
Same.
And also, I've also got the host of Suddenly Soundtracks here. It's been ages since we've seen him, Chris Clark. Chris, how's it going?
It's also been ages since we've seen Suddenly Soundtracks, which is coming back next Thursday for the one and only Rocky Horror Picture Show is coming out. Actually, it's going to be Wednesday Halloween Day. Yeah, it's Wednesday Halloween Day. Rocky Horror is coming out with Tim Franco. But yeah, I'm pumped. You have the two music nuts here with you, Malcolm. Let's rock this sucker to the end of town.
Yeah. Yeah, and how the show works. We all go around and nominating a song, and then the other people say yes or no to it. Basically, if it gets one more yes plus a nomination, it goes through to the list, and everyone gets a save. So if someone nominates something terrible like It's Raining Men, then and the other two people say no to it, then you can choose to save it, and we only get to do it once, so you've got to be smart about it. And I'm going to throw it over to Chris. Chris, what is the first one you're bringing up?
Whew, this is tough. This is very tough, but I'm gonna do this didn't make the top musical songs ever, but I just did mention Rocky Horror. And I think no Halloween party is complete without the Time Warp. I have the Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Rocky Horror is a Halloween movie. To any certain degree, its cult status is always being played during the October season for Halloween. Has been something for like the last 40 years or so. And Time Warp is its staple song. Go to any Halloween party, the Time Warp is in that Halloween shuffle. It might not be specifically about Halloween, but it has the spirit. It really does. So I have Rocky Horror's Time Warp as my first choice.
And I'm going to quickly go in and say it was number one on my list as well. This is what I always sing at karaoke around Halloween time, and so it's definitely yes for me. Brooklyn, your vote wouldn't have mattered. What would you have said?
Before I announce my decision, I will first jump to the left, and then I'll take a step to the right, and put my hands on my hips and put my knees in tight, because it's the pelvic thrust that makes me say yes. Time Warp needs to be on this list. I was playing this at work the other day, and some kids who are like 15, 16. What song are we playing here? And I was like, all right, you need to educate yourself on Rocky Horror Picture Show and the Time Warp and the greatness that this song is.
But don't watch it until you're like 18 because it gets really weird, especially that bedroom scene. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie.
Old.
Oh, yeah. The sequel's not as good as the original, but they're both still...
you're talking about Shock Treatment. Shock Treatment has...
Yeah.
It doesn't have as good of a soundtrack. Yeah.
No, that's definitely... But anyway, Brooklyn, what is the first one you're going to come up with?
It's close to midnight, and something evil is lurking in the dark. Michael Jackson's Thriller needs to be on this list. When you think about the narration by Vincent Price, the dances, the music video itself is one of the greatest music videos ever. The wolves and the zombies, one of the catchiest beats ever. Not Michael Jackson's best song. I think there are two others that are better, but Thriller has to be on another Halloween staple.
Chris Fuller is on the table. What do you say to that?
I love the album Thriller, and I actually think Thriller didn't necessarily make it to my top echelon, but it is on my list. I am giving it a yes, but it's a very soft yes. Like Thriller, again, that is on the Halloween season, and Vincent Price's narration actually supersedes the song itself to me. I think the song kind of plods a little bit too long. It outweighs his welcome a little too much. But Thriller, I mean, it's the title track to what people say is the greatest selling album of all time. And on top of that, Thriller, like all my arguments for Time Warp, Thriller has in spades as well, so it would be contradictory of myself to say no. So Thriller is a yes for me. Even if the song itself, I could give or take, it's a staple. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And Thriller makes the list. My vote would have been a yes as well. I don't have anything bad to say about the song. I love the song, and it's definitely one that goes up there. And I mean, it's like Vincent Price is probably the grandfather of horror movies anyway. I'm not sure what they call him, but
Josh Peck in the chat just brought up the Glee version of Rocky Horror. We don't discuss that.
I actually don't mind that version.
It destroyed what Sweet Transvestite stands for.
I mean, I hated the version of Time Warp either, but
yeah, I mean, Hopatuti's version was okay.
Yeah, John Stamos, I believe. Anyway, it's up to me, and the one I'm going to bring up is being used as a entrance music for one Classy Clark Wolf, and I'm talking about Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. This is one which it borrows the melody of Sweet Home Alabama, because I mean the first time I heard it, I was thinking, this is Sweet Home Alabama, but the words are wrong. I thought it was a parody, but this is a song which I just really love. I had to go out and find it and download it and put it onto my iPod because I just love listening to it. And I mean, it's definitely a fitting theme entrance music for Clark. So, Chris, what do you say to Werewolves of London?
I love Warren Zevon. I'm glad you brought this up because I didn't even think of Werewolves of London. And Werewolves of London is a staple for classic rock radio. I mean, to me, Warren Zevon is always Lawyers, Guns, and Money. That song itself, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Lawyers, Guns, and Money, but it is a jam. And I love Warren Zevon. Werewolves of London is a great jam as well. And yes, it is I never thought of it as Sweet Home Alabama, but it is kind of Sweet Home Alabama on steroids. That's a good comparison. Musically, it has the same chord progression too. Werewolves of London, I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about Werewolves of London, and it's not on my list, but I can take that off. Yeah, Werewolves of London gets a yes. I actually do like that. That's creative. Now I might change my next one then because I got something else.
And Werewolves of London makes the list. Brooklyn, what would you have said?
Werewolves of London. Yes. This needs to get on here.
That makes so much sense. Oh my god.
And it goes full circle back round to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what are you going to bring up?
Everybody has heard this song about 1 million times for a good reason. It used to be called the Transylvanian Twist, but it is now the Monster Mash by Bobby, Boris Prickett, and the Crypt Kickers. I love this song. It's a little bit aged. It's a little bit dated because of like how monsters are held back then as to now. But it's a great one. References so many of the universal monsters, and it's synonymous with Halloween itself. So the Monster Mash.
Monster Mash is on the table. I'm going to go next and say yes, Monster Mash deserves to be on this list. It's definitely one that I hear a lot of time around Halloween. And yeah, Chris, your vote wouldn't have mattered. What would you have said?
I hate that like the first 5 songs are automatic yeses. Because this is a yes beyond imagination. Monster Mash gets in no matter what anybody else says. Yeah, Monster Mash is fantastic. Monster Mash also actually has the same chord progression as Hot Patootie and has the same boom, 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 Hot Patootie, bless my soul. and then you can go into the Monster Mash with that, which we've done with my live band. I love Monster Mash. It's very upbeat. It's great. And yeah, Monster Mash is just so much fun. So yeah, Monster Mash.
Chris, what song is your next one you're going to bring up?
Most people think, I mean, I like This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas, but I think there's an even better song from that that's kind of a scat number by Mr. Oogie Boogie. I have the Oogie Boogie song from Nightmare Before Christmas. I think this song supersedes This Is Halloween just because of how much passion and that voice by Ken Page. And you guys have both probably seen Nightmare Before Christmas hundreds of times. Ken Page's Oogie Boogie is phenomenal. And the way in that song you can sing in your bathroom, and it's so gratifying. I find it so fun. This might be controversial because I know some people will automatically turn to This Is Halloween, obviously. But the other really Halloween-esque song that I really admire from it, I just want to bring it up, is the Oogie Boogie song.
I mean, there's no reason why they both can't make this list, but the Oogie Boogie song is the one that's on the table. Brooklyn, what do you say about the Oogie Boogie song?
I'm going to be a negative Nancy, and I'm going to say no because I do like the Oogie Boogie song. I think it is a great solo performance. But I think for Halloween, you need to capture the madness that is Halloween, and I think This Is Halloween does it a little bit better. So I'm going to be a negative Nancy here and say no.
It's all good. Most people would go for This Is Halloween too.
Yeah, I mean, this is one I love this song, but yeah, I think for a song to be played in Halloween, I don't think I can put it on the list. Sorry, Chris.
I already put it in denied.
You might want to add Monster Mash to the accepted ones. So you didn't actually want them down.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Well, I can't. Well, I can't because it's my turn to nominate a song.
Go for it.
I'm going to go for a out there pick because I can. And this is one which is more. There's no lyrics to it, but it is from a Halloween movie. It's from an iconic Halloween movie. I am talking about Tubular Bells by Mike Oldsmith, which is the theme you hear for The Exorcist. This is what, like...
Oh, that's a score! Oh,
yeah. I mean, if it doesn't get on because of that, I'm not going to be upset. This is what I just want to go for an out there one. It's like... but this is one, like, I was thinking you don't always need songs or scores that have lyrics, because sometimes you want to talk to people, and if you hear a song which you want to sing along to, like, it can be distracting. But sometimes if you mix it up with having a few songs and then you've got a few scores there as well, then you've got those moments where you can talk to people and sort of... But yeah, Tubular Bells is on the table. Chris, what do you say to that?
The Exorcist theme. I'm gonna have to give. That's a really interesting pool. I didn't have necessarily any scores on my list, and that didn't make it. So objectively, it is going to be no for me. But that's a good pool. The Exorcist theme is great, but if it's a Halloween party and you put on the Exorcist theme, how is that going to fly with the people at the Halloween party? That's how I put the Halloween songs in my list. Is how would people react at a Halloween party to hear this on the radio? So, to me, you can't jiggy to that. So, it's a no. Sorry.
That's definitely fair. Brooklyn, what are you going to say to Tubular Bells?
I actually disagree with Chris. I do believe that there are some songs where you need to capture the eeriness that is Halloween. I do have a couple of scores and like instrumentals on my list.
I have one instrumental too. Yeah, but
yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes because
okay.
The Exorcist theme does capture the eeriness, and it is recognized. Like, I've never seen The Exorcist, but as soon as you said the theme that is all right. It's in my that gets a yes.
Yeah.
How do you spell Exorcist?
EXCORC or SIST, Exorcist.
Exor. Okay. Exorcist. I probably spelled that wrong. EXTCORST.
EXCORIST.
I'm just gonna copy and paste from fucking Wikipedia.
Okay. That's good. Did we lose Malcolm?
Yep.
All right. I think it was my turn to nominate. Does that sound right, Chris?
Yeah, just go for it, my man.
All right, cool. So this is my out of left field pick since we're on the round of left field picks. I am going to pick In the Hall of the Mountain King. For those of you who don't know, who can't put the song to the actual title, you've heard this hundreds of times. It starts out with that low oboe, the dun 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 dun.
That's a Halloween song.
And then it's let me explain here for a little bit. It's the way that it slowly builds. Like initially, you get that eeriness that is Halloween, and then the madness ensues about halfway through. You get the cymbals and the drums and these very violent sounding violins, and it speeds up and the madness ensues. Like it sounds like it should be out of a slasher movie, and to kind of back up what it is, and kind of back up the sort of the Halloweenish, almost horror feel, the way that it's been used in cinema, like it's been used in The Corpse Bride, a Halloween film, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, not necessarily Halloween, but it does have that sort of vibe. Funny Games, as Bibiani has put it, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Bride Wars, Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian. There's a bunch of them. It's been used so much in pop culture and TV and cinema itself that I think it at least deserves a nomination. I won't be mad if it doesn't get on, but I have to at least try.
I'll go before you explain your thing to Malcolm. I mean, that's interesting, but again, I can't put that over. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 5 out of the 12. I don't think that, I don't, like, the dun dun dun, but that doesn't really, I don't think of Halloween when I hear it, so I would have to say no. Explain it to Malcolm, my man.
Okay. Malcolm, you're all good?
Yeah.
Okay, so my nomination is In the Hall of the Mountain King. It is a song that you have heard at least 100 times. It's because the name is that they hardly ever say the actual name of the song whenever they're using it. But it is an instrumental piece. It starts out with that low oboe. If I sing you the melody, you'll definitely recognize it. It's dum 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 dum.
You're sideways, Malcolm.
Dum 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 dum. And then it slowly picks up and it builds and it adds different things, and then at the end it's just mayhem and madness. The way I reference it to Chris is it's something out of a slasher flick. Like you add in the cymbals and the violins and all these different elements that make it chaotic. And the way that it's been used in film, I rhymed off films like Corpse Bride, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Funny Games, one of the greatest horror films of the '90s. So I won't be mad if it doesn't get on, but I need to at least try to nominate it.
Yeah, I mean, I do know the song, but I'm going to have to say no to it. It's a great tune, but it's one of those ones which, honestly, I don't remember that much. But yeah, but anyway, I'm going to throw it over to Chris, what the song are you going to bring up next?
I'm going to fucking blow both of your minds with this one. Okay, this is number 6 on my list, and it is a song about the woman from Psycho. Written by Billy Joel, using the Psycho theme as its main riff. Blonde Over Blue. Billy Joel has famously said that this is his most, this song he based on Psycho, the plot of Psycho, and it is to him a horror medley. Have you heard of Blonde Over Blue, Brooklyn? Did you listen to that yet?
I have not.
Shit. Have either of you heard that song or no? Because I could just pick another
No.
if this is going to be a waste of time.
Yeah, I haven't heard the song either.
Okay.
So.
You know what? Just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to do another one. Okay. I'm going to actually go with. Oh man, this is hard now. All right. I'll do the obvious one. Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters theme. I know this is probably very predictable, but do note that from the 1980s, this song exemplified a generation. How many people have grown up with Ghostbusters? My cousins loved Ghostbusters, and that theme, Something Strange in the Neighborhood, Who You Gonna Call Ghostbusters. Again, I built my list on songs that I would love to hear in a Halloween playlist, and this one gets the crowd going. So Ghostbusters is on the table.
It's the quick yes for me. It was on my list. And it is easy to put on. Brooklyn, your vote wouldn't have mattered. What would you have said?
I would have said yes, and then I would have given you guys some questions. I would have asked you who originally was supposed to write the Ghostbusters theme, and what song did they end up writing instead?
I don't actually know that.
Malcolm, any guesses?
Michael Jackson?
Elton John?
It was actually supposed to be Huey Lewis and the News.
Really?
But for some reason they didn't end up doing it, and Huey Lewis wrote "I Want a New Drug." And if you ever listen to "I Want a New Drug" and Ghostbusters theme, listen to them and listen to how similar they are. There's a bit of a story behind it. I don't know it as well, but it's a little fun fact for
Time
the
to look
for
that
the
up on Google.
Yeah.
That's cool. So it's a yes for Ghostbusters theme?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I would have been surprised if it wasn't.
Well, it's back to me, and I'm going to bring up one that I'm surprised wasn't Chris's first pick. I'm going to bring up "Bat Out of Hell" by
I was going to do that next. You really just are stealing mine. Wow. Well, now you know that it's going to get in. But yeah, go for it.
But yeah, I mean, this is one that is just a classic song, and it's just one that, like you've got lots of people that dress up in the devil, so coming out of hell is the Halloween spirit. I already know what Chris is going to say. Brooklyn, what do you say to bat out of hell?
Let's just move on. Next song, it's a yes.
Oh, really? You liked it? Okay, look.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you guys about this. Bat Out of Hell is about a biker who is dying in the middle of a street, about to be reincarnated into a bat that's coming from hell. That's essentially what his story is. He goes from riding his bike, see myself tearing up the road faster, he's going across, and then he has the giant crash. And then he's dying in a pool of blood. And at the end, he reincarnates into a giant mythical bat to terrorize everybody he loves and holds dear. It's a 9-minute rock opera masterpiece written by Jim Steinman. And if that does not this is not just one of the best Halloween songs, period, because it exemplifies the horrors of what can actually happen on Halloween night. It also is one of the best classic rock songs ever. Great driving song. If you ever do driving songs, Brooklyn.
That intro though.
The intro is 2.5 minutes, and it goes right into the song with the piano melody. That intro is easily, if you do a playlist on best musical intros, tops that list too. It's basically the stairway to heaven for classic rock. It's the stairway to heaven for rock opera, that kind of thing. So yeah, Bat is phenomenal. If you never heard of Bat Out of Hell, you have. It's on the radio all the time, uncut. It's like Bohemian Rhapsody. So yeah, check it out. And it's impossible to do live. It is a bitch to do live. That's why we never do it.
And it goes back to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what is the next one you're coming up with?
We have 6 or 7.
Let me count. We have Ghostbusters, Bat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try this. We don't have any modern ones on here yet, so I'm gonna try for a modern one. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna try "Heads Will Roll" by Yeah Yeah Yeahs. This would have been used most famously in Project X, that big college movie from a couple years ago, where the party just goes insane. But it is very. It has a very Halloween horror-esque vibe. Like the chorus is "Off with your head, dance till you're dead. Heads will roll, heads will roll." It's got a great synth beat. It's a pump up. It's a jam song, and it's a banger. It's kind of a guilty pleasure, but I think it needs to be on this list.
Chris, Heads Will Roll is on table. What do you say?
Listening to it right now. I mean, I've never listened. I've never really heard it. I can't give it a fair assessment. This is kind of like the issue that we've had with Land Over Blue, but right now I can't. I don't know. I would probably give me. Say your thoughts, Malcolm. I want to listen to this a little bit more. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is one that I like this song. It was also used in Glee in a mashup with Thriller, which I didn't think worked with the mashup, but I can't give it a yes. I mean, it's not high on my list that year.
Like this is up. This like the music of it. The synth is really cool. But to me, it why not nominate What Does the Fox Say? I'm probably gonna give this a no, even though I wish I had more time with it, but yeah, I would give it a no, but it's not terrible.
Okay.
I'm trying to give it a fair shot, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So Heads Would Roll is denied, sadly. Not a lot of things got denied so far.
Yeah. It's back to Chris. Chris, what are you going to bring up next?
I'm actually. This is gonna be. You guys are gonna be freaking surprised what I'm about to say. All right. When you think of the monster movies, does your mind go to Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yeah, a little bit.
Care to elaborate?
For one of my Halloween, nothing is darker in Disney's repertoire than Frollo's gothic, horrifying song "Hellfire," talking about the lusts of human sacrifice and urges, and it's very dark and demeaning, and it kind of brings that kind of gravitas to the whole situation of Halloween and how horrifying humanity can be, especially a monster such as Frollo. When the true monster, that whole entire movie is about who the real monster is, Frollo or the actual monster Quasimodo. And it doesn't matter what you look like, it's on the inside that counts. And Hellfire is the thing that exemplifies what a monster truly is. And on top of that, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, especially in the Universal era, was considered a Universal horror movie, the 1939 Hunchback, which in hindsight, if you think about that, that makes Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame a musical remake of a horror film. So I put two and two together. I have Hellfire on here. It's probably the most bullshit thing ever. It's probably out of left field like nobody's business, but Hellfire is on the table. It's also one of the best Disney songs, period, but Hellfire.
I'll go to Brooklyn first. I need to compose my thoughts on this.
I am going to quote the cool guy in the chat. It's good, but not top 12. I'm worried that we're almost getting carried away here from like we're talking about like best horror songs as opposed to like best Halloween.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna stand my ground and say no.
I mean, it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to say yes to it because the way Chris described it, it works as one that I would play at Halloween party. I mean, I've already watched Hunchback of Notre Dame once, and that was way back when I was a kid. But I have heard the song a few more times since then, and it is one that I didn't think of, but it strangely works. But
Are
yeah,
you okay with that, Brooklyn?
Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah, Hellfire. Look, I actually do put that in my Halloween playlist too. Hellfire. It's still good. A lot of people love Hellfire too, especially because it starts off with Heaven's Light, that little interlude with Quasimodo talking about how he is a demon and just wanting to go to heaven. And that contrast, it just makes it a little. And the gothic chorus that interlaces it. I mean,
Yeah.
that speaks more volumes on Halloween than probably Thriller, because Thriller is more of a music video based Halloween song. Anyway, we can move on.
yeah. Anyway, it's back to me, and I'm going to go to one that I've seen and I saw in the chat a few times. Did actually have this on my list as well. It's I Put a Spell on You.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Which version though?
Screaming Jay Hawkins, I believe, is the original.
I get that one, but Bette Midler's is okay. Well, this is song, so it could be any version, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of those ones like it doesn't matter which version; it's still the same song. But I Put a Spell on You is one that is a really interesting song. I mean, I like one reason I like this one was just that deep raspy voice of like I put a spell on you. Is just one of those ones which definitely sounds very Witch Doctor-esque. Imagining like a witch doctor, shaman, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I Put a Spell on You is on the table. Chris, what do you say?
I like the original. I love the Bette Midler version from Hocus Pocus. And that's the one I'm giving a yes to because this is I Put a Spell on You. It's a mainstay. It's the main focal point of the entire thumbnail too. So Put a Spell on You is a yes from me. Especially though the Bette Midler version.
Brooklyn's vote doesn't matter, but what would you have said anyway?
Malcolm, once again, using his futuristic New Zealand abilities and being able to pick out what song I was going to nominate next. So this does get a yes.
Were you going to nominate the Bette Midler version?
I was nominating the Scream and Jay Hawkins version.
I mean, they're both fine.
Yeah.
Either one I would have said yes I put a spell on you. Now you're mine.
Brooklyn, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
All right, I'm going to the next one on my priority list that hasn't been nominated. It was mentioned previously in the show, but this is Halloween from A Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll reiterate the points that I brought up again. It captures the madness that can be Halloween. It has that sort of that eeriness, like the dum 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 dum, and it's that weird unorthodox sort of chord progression, and then how it finishes in the end, where there's all these moving parts, and it works so well. And I mean, it has Halloween in the title. This would be the only, probably the only song on our list that would have Halloween in the title.
This is Halloween is on the table. Chris, what do you say to This is Halloween?
I said that This is Halloween was probably going to make it over Oogie, and I do not mind putting it over Oogie. So yes, This is Halloween. I mean, I explained my thoughts on Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah. This is a yes. If one of them was going to get in, this was going to be the one.
Yeah, and I mean, it was going to be a yes for me as well. I mean, this would be the one that I would use to open up my Halloween parties, just because, like, you're saying to people, this is Halloween. This is my Halloween party. Like, strange comparison to make, I know, but anyway, Chris, what is the next song you're going to bring up?
Oh, do I want to do that one? No, I don't want to do that one. Nah. Oh man, this is hard now. Because now I'm scratching to the bottom of the barrel.
I also have 2 songs left to go on the list. So.
Yeah. Let me see. You know what, Malcolm? You can go to Brooklyn and then come back to me. Because really, my list, I'm not really set on either of these 2 songs that I have left. You can just go to Brooklyn. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's me next anyway.
Oh, we go to you next. Yeah, just go to you next and come back to me. Yeah. So I have to now look in Google something. Yeah, no. I don't like these 2. I have fucking Scary Skeletons. And I don't want to put that up anymore. I don't like that song anymore.
I'm going to go for another one which I think has been used as a TV theme before. I can't remember if there was a TV series based on this, but it's Casper the Friendly Ghost. This is a song which is one that can get stuck in your head so much, but it exemplifies Halloween, and even and the movie that is based on came from, but is one that is made our Halloween movies, one that we did a few weeks ago. But Casper the Friendly, it's just one of those ones like Ghosts. It's like it fits Halloween. Casper the Friendly Ghost is on the table. Brooklyn, what do you say about that?
I'm going to pass it over to Chris because I've actually never heard this song.
Casper the Friendly Ghost, the friendliest ghost. No. As much as I love the movie and the film, I love that film, and I like its 2 sequels. The one with the train station with that big green guy, and the other one with I think it was Hilary Duff who played Wendy. Those sequels are great. I love those films. The song itself, I mean, it's kind of like George of the Jungle. Like, I like George of the Jungle, the movie. The song is okay. This is Casper. I can't say yes to, even though I could dig it once in a while, and I might regret saying no to it if other things don't, because we're really stretching things. So I'm gonna give Casper a no. Sorry.
It's alright. Brooklyn, what do you say about Casper?
Nah, just not my jam.
It's not your peanut butter, or not your?
It's not my peanut butter or my jelly.
Or your apple butter. Peanut butter and apple butter sandwiches are amazing, by the way.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, Chris, what are you gonna do?
Enter Sandman by fucking Metallica. That's what I'm gonna do. It's about the demonic. What Metallica does in Enter Sandman. It's basically a bedtime story to a child to not have nightmares about somebody coming into your room, about the boogeyman. It is stupendous. If you don't know Enter Sandman, you're lying. Enter Sandman is a horrifying song about the childhood fear of somebody coming into your room while you're asleep, and because hush little baby, don't say a word, don't forget that noise you heard. It's just space under your bed, in your closet, in your head. Yeah, and my band too. We put Enter Sandman in the middle of River of Dreams. We pause it. Yeah, I have a video of it. I'll show you it after the live show, Brooklyn. But yeah, we do Enter Sandman in between that middle section. Enter Sandman is fantastic, and it's also the fears of your dreams as well, which nightmares are a big part of Halloween. So Enter Sandman is on the table. I knew I was forgetting something.
I'm going to throw it over to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what do you say about Enter Sandman?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The minute I said it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. This needs to get on here.
I mean, it doesn't matter now it's on, but I would have said no. I've never been a fan of Metallica. But it's just not one that I would go to. But anyway, back to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what song are you going to bring up?
All right, this is a band. This is by my favorite band of all time. I've actually haven't got to talk about them a whole lot. but I'll just sing a little bit of Woo-hoo, Witchy Woman. It is Witchy Woman by the Eagles. One of the greatest bands ever, doing a song that where their harmonies really captures the eeriness and the essence of Halloween, and the songwriting. I forget who it's written by in particular, but Don Henley, like raven hair, ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips, echoed voices in the night. She's a restless spirit on an endless flight. Like it sounds like a campfire story, something you would tell to provoke this this mystery and this sort of wonder of who this witchy woman character is. But I'm going to throw on Witchy Woman by the Eagles or Eagles.
I'm going to go quickly on this, and it's going to be a yes for me. This Eagles is a great band, and I'm going to get to see them live next year. They're coming to my city in New Zealand, so that's exciting. And this is this is actually my favourite song of theirs over Hotel California. So
you take that back, good sir. You take that back right now.
I like it. Hotel California as well. This is Hotel California is my number 2. This is my favorite song of theirs. Anyway, Chris, what would you have said on Witchy Woman?
Oh, Eagles, yes. The Witchy Woman is a great song. I would give it a yes. The thing is, though, with Witchy Woman, as much as I like Witchy Woman, it's not the best song in their catalog. You have Desperado.
Desperado is a great song.
Desperado is my favorite Eagles song.
Peaceful, easy feeling. Take it easy.
Take it easy is my second
already
favorite.
Gone.
Heartache tonight. Heartache tonight.
Heartache tonight. There's a hole in the world.
Yes.
Lover Out of Eden. There's tons.
So yeah, Witchy Woman deserves its spot, if anything. But if this was an Eagles list, I might. There were a couple Eagles songs that I would put on, because I know eventually we're probably going to get to an Eagles playlist at some point, more than likely. So when that happens, Witchy Woman will be again in contention. I have no problem with it being on here, though.
I think in January, this sometime in January is the 2-year anniversary of Glenn Frey's death. I'm not sure.
You should do that. Or you should do the Eagles in July for the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
That would be cool, too.
Yeah.
That's actually about the time they're coming to New Zealand. So.
Nice.
But anyway, with that, our 12 has been made.
Already?
And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
yeah.
8, 9, 10. Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. And to recap, we've got Time Warp, Monster Mash, Werewolves of London, Thriller, Tubular Bells, Ghostbusters, Bat Out of Hell, Hellfire, I Put a Spell on You, This Is Halloween, Enter Sandman, and Witchy Woman.
That's a good list, actually.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Brooklyn, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yes, I do, actually. I have Nightmare on My Street by Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. I have Superstition by Stevie Wonder, Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran, and Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix.
And Chris, did you have any other honorable mentions there?
I have Blonde Over Blue by Billy Joel. But then there's all of these Meatloaf songs that you guys never heard of and never just... But one's called Blind as a Bat. One is called Wolf at Your Door. One is called Midnight at the Lost and Found. A lot of what Jim Steinman writes for Meat has a lot of those Halloween-esque overtones that I really, really like.
Yeah.
But also I have from, I don't know if you guys have seen Streets of Fire, I have Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young. I have Total Eclipse of the Heart. Yep, which is and the one that I was gonna bring up was Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me Now, because she is singing about a lost love that she keeps echoing. It's about a spirit that's
she may be Canadian, but that does not mean that I have to like her. She's actually one of my least favorite artists.
But yeah, a lot of my stuff was Jim Steinman related, just because of a lot of his stuff is like he wrote an entire play about the Gothic version of Neverland, which Bat Out of Hell, the entire album is based on. That whole and took the words right out of my mouth intro. The On a Hot Summer Night are the wedding vows between Wendy and the episode. That's it. But none of that stuff you would have translated to this list.
I had a lot of honorable mentions here. I had the Double Trouble tune from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I had the Addams Family theme, Spirit in the Sky.
Damn it.
I had Running with the Devil. I had Sympathy for the Devil. I had Devil in Disguise. I had Zombie. I had Bad Moon Rising. I had Hell Hotel. I Don't Fear the Reaper. I had The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I had the I had The Monster by Eminem and Rihanna. But yeah.
I also have I have Tenacious D's the Devil song from that too.
Beelzebus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
I even had Scary Monsters by David Bowie, but yeah. But now it's time to get to the fun part, where we write down what we want at number 12. But yeah. And it looks like...
Now I have Beelzebub stuck in my head. Can that be an honorary 13?
Sure, if you want.
A lot of things could be an honorary 13.
Just Chris's face when I mentioned the Devil Went Down to Georgia.
I forgot about that, and I love Devil Went Down to Georgia. Also, The Gambler by Kenny Rogers is also a good one. All right.
Brooklyn, what do you want at number 12?
Sadly, the Werewolves of London.
I didn't write it down, sorry, but I was going to say the Exorcist theme.
Yeah, I had Enter Sandman.
All right.
So go to the chat, I guess.
Yeah. Chat, which of the 3 songs we mentioned do you think should be number 12? It's Werewolves of London, Enter Sandman, or the Exorcist theme?
If nobody does it,
the chat is actually saying Witchy Woman, which I'm very surprised. Chat.
That's probably...
they probably had that there before we...
Yeah.
They're telling me that I spelled it wrong, and I did. So... will you guys please let us know? The first person to respond...
Actually, what I'll do is I'll change mine and to the Exorcist theme, because I was just thinking about it, but yeah. We'll make Exorcist theme number 12.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, Malcolm's God, so Exorcist is the number 12. All right. Next one. I'm actually going to say that.
Yeah. Number 11. I'll go first in this. As much as I hate to do this, but I think all the other ones are better, and I don't think my hate for Enter Sandman is going to mean anything. I'm going to put Werewolves of London.
Brooklyn. I guess you knew what he was going to say.
I also had Werewolves in London, but it's on the bottom of the...
Okay. Well, I had Witchy Woman. So, I guess Werewolves of London. I'm surprised that got so low.
It's a great song. It just doesn't really capture for me, it just doesn't capture Halloween as much as I...
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Only 2 songs got denied. Heads Will Roll and Oogie Boogie.
Yeah.
Oh, no. In the Hall of the Mountain King also got rejected.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. Oh, that's where I was going next.
Not many things got rejected.
Nope.
Yeah.
This episode's only been 49 minutes, too.
Oh, wow.
Honestly,
Alright.
I didn't think it was going to go this fast, but anyway, Chris, what do you want for 10?
Witchy.
Brooklyn.
I'm sorry, Chris, but Hellfire.
Okay. I would actually kind of agree to that.
This may be my favorite of their songs, but Richie Woman.
Alright, Witchy got in. I actually now do agree with Brooklyn. Is it below? No, it isn't below that. Because that's a...
All right, Brooklyn, what do you want for number 9?
I still have the Hellfire, but the F is really big. I'm not really sure why.
Hellfire.
Chris, what do you want for 9?
I originally said Hellfire, but I'm thinking about it. Thriller is more of a music video horror song, not a actual horror song. It's a thriller.
I started with one of you, and it's Hellfire.
Alright.
The correct answer.
That went pretty much the way we expected. I'm not even gonna bother with that one right now. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah.
All right, Brooklyn, what do you have for 8?
Enter Sandman.
Chris, what do you have for 8?
Still thriller.
I have Enter Sandman.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot for this.
I wonder how
Alright,
many
number
denials we would have if Cody was here.
Oh, these. I'm sure we'd still have like 7 picks.
But yeah, Chris, what do you have for 7? Presuming you got the
Sticking
same
with
one.
this, I think Thriller doesn't deserve to be in the top echelon. Thriller.
Brooklyn, what do you have for 7?
I actually have Ghostbusters.
And once again, I've started with one of you, and this time I've sided with Chris.
Yeah.
I'm just looking what is still there, and yeah, I think the other one sort of scream
This
Halloween.
is now getting really
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. So just to recap, we've got Time Warp, Monster Mash, Ghostbusters, Bat Out of Hell, and I put a spell on you, and this is Halloween left.
Okay, I know what it is.
All right, Brooklyn, what do you have for 6?
It's still Ghostbusters, but it's a really big letter.
Chris, what do you have for 6?
I have Ghostbusters, but it's just a G and a B.
Even though I like it, I put this is Halloween, but Ghostbusters is at 6.
This is getting really tough.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
There's one there. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I saw that.
As much as it's iconic, I don't know if it meshes with the other echelon as the best.
Chris, what do you want for 5?
I have Monster Mash.
Brooklyn, what do you have for 5?
I put a spell on you.
I also have I put a spell on you with a stick figure of Voldemort saying Avada Kedavra.
That's all good. But now it's...
This is good.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I actually like Monster Mash better than this one.
Smash that out. All right, Chris, what do you have for 4?
It's Halloween, but if it says homework, this is homework. This is Halloween. This is
Brooklyn. Brooklyn,
Chris-
what do you have for
Chris,
4?
I'm really sorry, but bad Annabelle.
Really? Okay. I mean, yeah.
I'm also really sorry, but I also put Better Hell. So
Wow.
Better Hell gets number 4.
I mean, that makes sense. It's not as inherently Halloween as the top 3. But if you tell me that Bad Out of Hell is a worse song than Monster Mash, you're fucking lying.
It's not necessarily what's better; it's what more encapsulates Halloween.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Take for instance, up there, not no.
Tell her about it.
Tell her about it.
It's a great summer
It's
song.
a great summer song, but not Billy Joel's best.
Yeah.
I think we.
Chris, what do you have for 3?
What's left? It's I'm gonna say
Time
this is
Warp.
Halloween. This is Halloween. I didn't have time.
Brooklyn,
to write it
what do you have for 3?
I have the Time Warp.
I have This Is Halloween. This Is Halloween is at 3.
down. So it's between
Now-
Time Warp and Monster Mash, which is kind of what we all expected.
This is
We
really
pick our, we
tough.
pick our winner, right?
We pick our winner.
Yep, we've voted for what we want at number 1.
I would actually. What best encapsulates Halloween?
This is really tough, but Brooklyn, I'll get you to vote for your number 1.
Whatever happened to my Transylvanian twist? It's now the mash, the Monster Mash.
Chris, what do you have for your number 1?
Monster Mash.
I had Time Warp, but it doesn't matter. Monster Mash is number 1, and Time Warp is number 2.
All right.
Time Warp, I was this close to writing it down, but then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, Monster Mash is the only gets played at Halloween, so
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
But yeah, that's our list. And just to recap, our top 12 Halloween songs is at number 12, we've got the Exorcist theme song. At number 11, we've got Werewolves of London. At number 10, we've got Witchy Woman. At number 9, we've got Hellfire. At number 8, we've got Enter Sandman. At number 7, we've got Thriller. At number 6, we've got Ghostbusters. At number 5, we've got I Put a Spell on You. At number 4, we've got Bat Out of Hell. At number 3, we've got This Is Halloween. Number 2, we've got Time Warp. And number 1, we've got Monster Mash. It was a really good list. But, Chris, where can people find you online?
You know where you can find me. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChrisClark8788. Those numbers mean nothing. And on Collider Podcast Network, producing the Schmodown Rundown, the official after show for the movie Trivia Schmodown.
Brooklyn, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheRealBK10. The numbers are the words. And you can find me right here at Take 3 Productions, running not one but two shows, Shootbox Trivia on Mondays. We do music, we do trivia debates and playlists. Be sure to check out the championship match we did Monday with Luca and Matthew. And on the Late Night Take 3 on Thursdays, a very special 50th episode, a Halloween-themed episode nonetheless, and a very special guest that I'm going to be announcing on Thursday afternoon.
And you can find me on Take 3 Productions, hosting Wankum every Sunday night, and it's the usual time slot. This was just a bit delayed this week, but yeah, next week is either going to. We've got two Halloween ones left. It's either going to be Goosebumps and TV specials. I will decide I'll have to switch the order that I've already got them in. But anyway, and you can also find me competing in trivia on Multiplex and Full Metal. And you can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Malcor. And until next time, come back and when we rank 'em.